What's up, boys? Action Jackson here. It is about 12:45 p.m. I had already gone for my walk. I'm just still sipping on my coffee, enjoying the day, getting a bunch of my steps in, the usual day on the cut. But, you know, I really want to talk about consistency today, man, because truly I've been consistent with my diet, with my exercise with the gym. Haven't missed a day since November. Haven't missed a single day since November. And, you know, I'm not going to throw up a picture on the screen of what I look like in September. You can go on my Instagram and you can see it for yourself. If you scroll and look on my wall posts, not my reels. But I looked like shit in September. I truly did, man. I was fat. I was, in the worst spot ever. I was a lot more broke. I was smoking weed all day, playing video games with dickhead people. Didn't fucking provide any value to my life, man. And I knew intrinsically that I had to get out of that. That I needed to, I knew I could do better in that sense. And, I would just be working at my gas station job and I'd just be sitting there like, bro. Because there was these pizzas. We worked at Quick Trip, and I know they're not in every state, but anybody that knows Quick Trip knows that they have like a hot food section and they have a kitchen. I was the guy that they always threw in the kitchen. And I always got first dibs on the hot food that, went past the time. And it wasn't that bad. The food wasn't that bad. They just didn't want to sell it past a certain time because it would start to get bad after that. But all I would do, man, I would take like 3 of those. I'd be stoned. I'd be like, hell yeah, man. I would take 3 of those, drench them in ranch, go walk into the cooler and eat it. And I would steal a little bit of ice cream because the ice cream machine was hidden from like where the managers usually were. And I would just kind of like steal a little bit, have a little bit of ice cream, a little bit of pizza. And bro, I'd feel like shit after eating that. And there was a time where I was in that cooler eating the pizza, and I was just looking at the pizza like, am I going to continue doing this? Where is this going to get me? Am I going to keep working this gas station job, continue being a fucking loser, continue getting fatter, continue just being a fucking piece of shit? Let me tell you guys, if you're a man and you have no way of providing any value to people you love, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Because that's exactly where I was. I was in a position where I didn't have any money. If my mom fucking broke her leg tomorrow and couldn't go to work, I couldn't send her any money. I couldn't help provide for her. And matter of fact, I really still can't do that. I can do it a lot better now, but I'm not like in a financial position where I could just retire my mom, and that's, the goal, obviously. But, in a different sense, I wasn't in a position where I could provide any value to people. I couldn't, like, help my friend get into fantastic shape because I look like shit. I couldn't, right now I help my dad eat healthy and he's lost over 50 pounds. I wasn't in a position to do that. I didn't have a position of authority. And now I'm not saying I'm authoritative over my dad. I respect him ultimately. I wouldn't be where I am without him because he's the one that really put it in my head that I was being a fucking loser. But there was nothing I could do, man. Nobody respected me. I couldn't get women, And even if I could get a woman, it was like the bottom of the fucking barrel. Some like ugly, fat chick, maybe. And I was just like, bro, like I'd see all these people because I still went to the gym. Before that, I was skinny, but I still went to the gym and I was still in like relatively good shape. Nothing like now after I locked the fuck in, but you know, before then I would be consistent, then I would fall off, then I'd be consistent, and then I'd fall off, and I just kept doing that until like I just completely just went off the grid. Just at the gas station job smoking weed and all that type of stuff, but you know, it was just, I would see people, man, come into the gym, their hot girlfriend. They look like they're doing really well. They're in fantastic shape. And I would just feel so fucking empty. I would like look at them and I'd be like, I want to be like him, but I'm not like him. And quite frank, I couldn't get any women, dude. Especially women of that value. I couldn't network whatsoever. My network was dickheads. People that also smoked weed and played video games that I did with. This is the thing, man. Those friends didn't provide any value to me, and I didn't provide any value to them, and I couldn't provide any value to fucking anybody. I was making like less than $2,000 a month. Kind of going to the gym, spending all my money on donuts, pizza, fast food, and weed. And like video game DLCs and shit. And again, I was just, I would sit there and be like, why the fuck am I doing this, man? Why? And again, I'd be like, am I gonna have to do this forever? If I'm 30, because I'd be looking at the people that were 30 working there, bro. That were fat, addicted to weed, doing the same shit I was. I was like, do I want to be like them? Quite frank, one of the managers, by some fucking coincidence of God, was like my next door neighbor. I'd never met the guy. I just one day saw him walk into his car, a QT uniform. I'm like, what the fuck? My manager. And then that's when I learned the guy lived with his sister, and his sister lived with her fiance, and they both had the house together. And the fiance was a jacked, successful dude, had a successful landscaping business, and he lived with them. And I'm like, do I want to be the guy leeching off the successful guy? I don't want to be this guy. And then one day, man, I was just like, I had enough. Enough is enough, man. And I was staring at that QT pizza. I hadn't taken a bite yet. And I was like thinking to myself, I could start right now. I could start right now by throwing away this QT pizza and start the momentum now. And that's what I fucking did. I threw it away and I went home, still smoked weed. And guess what? I ate donuts. And I folded after I got the munchies. And I was like, tomorrow morning, I'm not doing this again. I would wake up feeling like shit. And I'd be like, I'm not doing this again. And I'd do it again, dude. And it was just a cycle. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck, man? So then eventually I realized it was the people I was with. It was the content I would consume. Essentially the influence. And this is where influence becomes extremely important. It's like you want to be feeding your brain the right food. You don't want to be around losers. You don't want to be around these motherfuckers. Trust me, man. I did it. I went through a period where I was alone, and I would only consume... Hold on, bro. This dude is a loud-ass car. Is about to fucking drive by. It's always the fucking people with the shittiest looking cars, man. Anyways. where was I, bro? Yeah, man, I went through a period where I was alone. Stopped playing video games with them. I still played video games. I would just play solo. Um, and that's when things started really getting better. That's when I started being consistent with the diet. And then I stopped watching porn, and I stopped, jerking off like a dickhead. So that was like a big turning point. And, continued to influence myself with self-help YouTubers, self-help books, podcasts, you name it, stuff like that. And then I was like really getting into better shape. I was starting to get six-pack abs. I was like, hell yeah, man. And then eventually I was still smoking weed. Eventually I was like, why am I smoking this shit? It's putting me in a negative vibration. I'm like hearing demons. I'm feeling demons now. Now that I'm in such a high vibration, a high frequency, that when I would smoke it, it would lower me down. But then now I'm like aware of it. And I'm like, this is shit. So then I texted my homie. I'm like, I'm throwing it all away. I'm done. All of it in the dumpster the next morning, bro. Haven't smoked weed since. Continue to double down, continue to work hard, continued, push, quit my job at QT because it wasn't serving me. And then I went super broke, and I just kept pushing, down to the last fucking dollar. I got a different job. I was surrounded by losers again. That job wasn't serving me, but I just kept promising myself, I need to stay at this job because it's the only way I can make money and afford healthy food. Or else I have to eat the bullshit goy slop that my parents would cook. And I just, and I respect them for cooking it, but I just don't want to eat that. So I kept pushing through the shit job, kept getting treated like shit, kept being surrounded by losers. And then my buddy who was running a successful business hired me on. And dude, that's when everything just changed, man. Not being around the losers, making more money, eating even more healthy food. And then I just said, fuck it, dude. And I dropped every dollar I had, maxed out the credit card, and bought a fitness mentorship. And dude, let me tell you, that was the best decision I have ever made. It was the last $3,000 that I had to my name. Maxed out the credit card. I don't think you guys understand, but taking risks is a part of life, man, and you don't want to be afraid and go the safe route all of the time, because then you're going to regret it. Don't let fear take you over, man. Be consistent, take the risks, bro. I don't care how much of a risk it is, dude. I had bills, I had rent. I had things to do, bro. I had things to pay off, but I still just threw it all in there. And God provided me with more money to, help pay my bills, to help do it. And I barely scraped fucking by the skin of my teeth, man. With cents left in my account. Less than fucking dollar. And truly the best thing I've ever done. And ever since then, God's been really testing me, testing my patience, testing my consistency. He wants to see if I'm worthy, and I'm honestly doing a lot better. And yeah, man, this is just a testament to you guys, because it all starts with the consistency in the way you feed yourself, whether that's food, brain food, influence, whatever it is, man. You truly just have to stay consistent and take the risks. Take the risk of dropping all your loser friends. Take the risk of jumping headfirst into something you don't know. Suck at it. Doesn't matter. But the best thing I've ever done was taking the biggest risk of my life, spending all my money to pay for somebody else's knowledge and implementation And bro, my physique's been exploding. My mindset has been exploding. I've been so clear-minded. I've been so focused on my purpose, man. That truly lit a fire under my ass. Even though I was consistent, even though I thought I was doing everything right, man. There were so many things that I wasn't doing right. And truly, man, it was the best thing I ever did. And it's truly a testament to you guys, man. It's truly possible if you're disciplined enough, if you're consistent enough, if you drop all the friends, bro. If you drop all the bullshit, all the vices, stop going out on the weekends and focusing on yourself. Going through a season of, I need to lock in, I need to fix my fucking life. Because truly, man, especially getting into shape, and especially dropping all those loser friends, bro, nothing bad is going to come out of it, man. I don't know what you're afraid of, man. Nothing bad will come out of it. Only good. Getting into shape only brought me better friends. Only brought me better opportunities. Only brought me a better mindset, better health, feeling more confident. Man, if you guys are on the edge of whatever it is, man, just jump into it, bro. Just jump in. Truly. Man, I really wish these people wouldn't interrupt my deep thinking, but I guess that's just the way it is, man. But yeah, man, nothing bad will come out of any of it, man. Truly. If you're sitting at home and, you're skinny fat like I was, you're working some shitty job like I was, you're hanging out with shitty friends on the weekends that don't provide you with any value, I'm telling you, man, your life is only gonna stay the same or get worse, bro. Not a lot of good's gonna come out of that. Maybe a couple good memories here and there, but you have to understand that nothing bad is going to come out of getting into shape. That should be the first objective of self-improvement. The first objective of becoming a successful man is getting into shape. Having a good physique. Because all that does is tell you and other people that you respect your vessel. Your body's a temple, and you have to treat it correctly. That you respect yourself and that you can hold promises and that you can be consistent. You tell yourself and everybody else that. And all that does is create and instill a belief into yourself to where you can start achieving things, man. You can start meeting better people. And it's crazy how God will, open those opportunities once you've become worthy of them. Because truly, man, if you're sitting at home and you're fat and you're whatever, man, God is rarely going to put those opportunities in your face, and those opportunities are going to close quickly, even if you take them, even if you take the risk. Because if you're fat, bro, you've already shredded a lot of your advantage off the top, man. Because people aren't going to trust you as much, subconsciously, bro. I was in court the other day, and the two other people that were in fantastic shape, I could just tell the judge held a different type of respect for him. And even me in shape, I was able to plead my case down to nothing. Down to nothing. I got everything dropped. I didn't even pay a fine, bro. I walked out of that court with the best sentence out of everybody there because not only did I do my research, but I took the risk, first of all, of pleading guilty and offering a deal to the judge. And, who the fuck is going to plead guilty and get everything dropped at the same time? Only the people in shape. Only the people in shape, bro. Because the other guy that was in shape, he was top G. He had a Rolex. You could tell that guy was doing pretty well. He pled guilty. He got a decent deal and he walked out of there. I got the best deal. But that's besides the point, man. But it's just a true common denominator is being in shape. And I truly see this every day, man. Truly see it every day. It's always the fat people, man. And the out of shape people that don't have the opportunities, that lose the opportunities, they don't take the risk, they don't give a fuck about their life, man. And I can go on the science of it, but you just have to understand, bro. Like, you got to start being consistent. And if that is your diet and going to the gym every day, then do it. What's stopping you, man? Truly. I think that's all that needs to be said today. I love you guys. Take action. You have a